guys, it's Sere Chan The Idiot, but you can just call me Sere, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can see from where I'm standing right now, and my name, this is a brand new account. And the name is RNG Impact. Now, as you can kind of guess, RNG means like luck-based. But to make this different from just your average old Genshin Impact account and playthrough, I am literally going to spin a wheel, and that is going to decide how I spin my primogems in this game. And I feel like that's going to be the challenge of it, because it will determine what characters I get, it will determine what weapons I attempt to get, and it may or may not determine whether or not I spend primogems on the standard banner. I don't know if I'm adding that to the rules or not. However, Snezhnaya is about to come out in about 20 days, I think, and I think this is probably the perfect moment to go ahead and start. Now, the first thing that RNG is going to decide for me is what character I main. Now, I don't have a whole lot of characters, but if you've never played this game before, at the very beginning you are given 4 free characters. That includes the Traveler, who I am playing as right now. I am going to spin a wheel and it will tell me which of those 4 new characters I have to invest in. Now, whenever I get a new character, I haven't really decided yet, but I think I'm going to do a 50-50 coin toss, and that will determine whether or not I actually main them, I guess. And every so often, I will probably spin that wheel again to determine whether I keep my main or if I find a new one. It really just depends on the progress of the account at that moment. Oh wow, I got 2 artifacts from that. I love artifacts. A 3-star. That is lucky. Now, the challenge really doesn't start until I unlock wishing, so I think I will bring you all back when I get to that point, just because if you're watching this, I'm sure you have seen many a new Genshin account. You know what? No, I'm not gonna do that. Now, while I progress through this beginning and try to unlock the wishing, I will go ahead and explain really what this account is and why I would consider it a challenge. Now, as I said earlier, the main challenge of this account is the fact that none of it is my decision. I am going to spin a wheel and let fate decide for me. Now, this is going to be very bad if I need a new character and it tells me to pull on the weapon banner, or a different character. Now, unfortunately for the viewers, I am not going to let RNG decide my teams, just because at that point I think it is going to get very out of hand and the account will possibly be doomed. But not being able to pull for a really good character when I really need to is going to be considered part of the challenge, and that's mainly why I decided to do this. I feel like Genshin at some point just becomes the same thing over and over and over again. You get a good DPS character or a support that you really like, and then you build a team around them, and then it just happens over and over and over again. But what happens when you get a character and fate doesn't let you do what you need to do to build them to their max potential? Then you have to struggle. Then you have to build characters that you normally wouldn't build for this character. And that is something that I would really enjoy. And Paimon can wait because I see a chest. Now, contrary to popular belief, I do actually like this game and I do play, and I only sometimes get distracted and forget that I'm a content creator every now and then. So I'm going to try my best to keep these uploads semi-frequent. Not only am I doing this challenge because I think it'll be fun, I really want to integrate myself and get myself used to making content, because it is something I've always wanted to do, but I can just never make myself do it. And I have come into a surplus of free time due to medical reasons, I guess. Nothing life-threatening. The AO3 author curse has not caught me yet. And our account has started. Now, I have made many a new Genshin account. In fact, I have made a few too many Genshin accounts. However, I do know the cursed Paimon curse, or the cursed Paimon theory. If you walk away from Paimon and she starts tweaking out, you have insanely bad luck. I don't remember if I had a cursed Paimon on my main account, but I was really lucky and now I'm really unlucky and I lose all of my 50/50s. And so I really hope that doesn't happen on this one. It is a new account and I do have the entire game to farm primogems, but farming primogems does take a very long time. Now, playing this game for 5 years and still going and having multiple accounts, I do think I would consider myself somewhat of a Genshin expert. So while I progress through early game, I am going to give just some small tips and tricks that may or may not help early game players or players that are just struggling in general. Mainly because I often find that I can't just pull topics out of nowhere to talk about, but also because when I started playing, I didn't have a friend who knew a lot about the game, and I've always been scared of stranger co-op. And so my first ever Genshin Impact account is horrible and it's still not fixed. So I guess if you'd like to see me fixing my old account, we can do that, but it is not something that I would do willy-nilly just for the fun of it. It is awful. And it's mainly because I didn't know about artifacts, and because I am AR2, I'm not going to go into depth right now. However, once I get to the point where I get artifacts and I can start putting them on characters, I will explain. And you can take that with weapons and just character ascensions and character building in general. My goal is to not let this account be awful, even if RNG really wants it to be. Let's see, I usually use my own birthday, but I am going to use today's date as the birthday for this account just because it feels right. It is July 22nd. Hey, and we get our birthday cake. And there is our first fragile resin collected. Now, something that I enjoy doing when I first start an account is, one, look at Dvalin. I was really hoping that he would not fly above me at that moment, but he did anyway. Anyways, as I was saying before I got rudely interrupted, something I like to do early game is just run around this area and collect chests. It is not necessary, but as you should know, chests doesn't just give primogems, it gives XP and it gives a lot of rewards that are really important for a game this early on. It gives basic artifacts, it gives basic weapons, even a 2-star is an upgrade at this point, and you just get XP so that you don't have to wait as long when you need to continue in a quest. But the main thing you get from them is just exploration. I personally enjoy exploring, especially in Mondstadt. Now, unfortunately, bigger regions are not as fun because they don't have the easy to get or easy to use treasure compasses. However, just running around early game is something that I've always enjoyed. Even before I found that I liked the exploration in this game, I still found myself doing it, just subconsciously. And you don't even have to run around and collect all of them, you just get the ones that you see when you're on your direct path to continue the story. It's always really fun and really soothing for me, but then again, I am just addicted to starting new accounts. Oh god, not the wood. I honestly can't wait for this account to be in the mid-levels, just because I'm so excited to do streams and just long plays of exploration and character building. Once I sit down and start building a character, especially if I have all of the resin to do so in one sitting, which isn't very healthy by the way. I don't suggest sitting down and playing this game for hours upon a time. Do as I say, not as I do. But I really enjoy just sitting down and building a character, hopefully in one sitting, just all at once, because once I get in the mood, I am hard to get back out of it. It's just something I enjoy. I definitely love building characters in this game.
Outrider Amber, reporting for duty. Just say the word if you have...
First character. I promise I can aim better than that. Now, something I do recommend newer players to do is break everything that you see. Just because when you start out with nothing, it seems really difficult to go out and collect all of these materials. Because let's face it, this is a huge game and there's a lot of stuff that you can collect. And you do use a lot of it, especially if you use food. Now, I always make sure to have a healer in my team so I don't always need edibles. Let's not call them edibles. I don't always need food to heal. Oh hey, I can unlock this. I didn't think that I could unlock this. I mean, I guess I can. Yeah, back to what I was saying. Newer players, it is very, I guess, helpful to just break everything that you see, because that lets you collect things without actually having to go out and either buy them or go out and look for them, which can be very, very annoying, especially mushrooms and stuff. So if you see them on the road and you're just running around anyway, go ahead and collect them, because it will do you a lot of good. Also, before I forget, if you are running around Mondstadt and you see the dandelions, go ahead and collect them. You can just hit them with Animo and you can collect the seeds. I think there's only 1 or 2 characters that need dandelion seeds, but they are such a pain to collect if you don't have them. You also need them for requests and commissions every now and then, but overall they are just one of those things that's handy to have, and I don't think there's that many of them in the world either, since they're really only in Mondstadt. I have not started a new account in so long, it feels so good. Honestly, I just can't wait to do the exploration because I have always really taken it for granted, but it gives so many rewards and it gives you all that XP that you need, and the only downside is once you have it all done, you have to wait for the next update before you can do any more, and that means you don't have anything to farm, which gets very annoying. Also, this is a puzzle slash time trial thing. Go to that little sparkle and then you run along the edge. This is also something I learned from Java the Cup, by the way. If you don't watch his content, you should. He's very funny, very sarcastic, and just good content in general. And you do get a luxurious chest from this, which I never knew. I think I found that out maybe in my 3rd year of Genshin. Maybe 4th. It is definitely not something that I knew, and I have now unlocked the Wind Glider. I love that it says dangerous, proceed carefully. I've never really used Kaya a whole lot, not even early game. I've always used Traveler or Lisa because she's definitely my favorite of the 4 that they give, but I am genuinely hoping that it tells me to main Kaya, just because I never have. Also, this skin is the only reason I chose Lumine. I usually choose Ether, but I chose Lumine just for that skin. Now the main question is, can I get up here? I honestly don't know. Okay, I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear it, but someone just started vacuuming, so if you hear that in the background, I apologize. It should not be long. That was such a close drop. I almost destroyed Lumine. And we've unlocked it all. I forgot how many things you unlocked at the beginning now. I remember when it was just the shop and wish. Oh my god, we've got a double homicide. Someone is vacuuming and someone's mowing the lawn all at once. I don't think it's picking up though. Oh my god. You just... Is this for all new characters then? I honestly thought it was just for anniversary. Or whenever summer was. Okay then. So as everyone should know, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. I'm not selecting anything though. You have the option to either pull on Noelle's Novice Banner, where the first 10 pull, you are guaranteed Noelle. However, you are able to get something else, because you can get 5 stars, however it's really, really rare, since there's really no pity system here. But you get any 4-star that was in the game at launch, which is pretty good, because there's some really good ones. There's Cinccho, there's Fischl, there's Sucrose, and Bennett. However, this is RNG Impact, which means I get to go spin a wheel and see if the wheel would like to decide. There we go, and I'm gonna have to blur out all of my tabs because I have some crazy save tabs. I'm not trying to show you my Wattpad and my AO3 information. Anyways, let's spin this wheel. Are we doing the standard or are we doing Noelle? We're doing standard. That was really loud. Okay, I guess we're doing standard. And I will be doing only the 10 pull. And our first 4-star is the flute. Okay. For those of you who don't know, that is like a pretty awful weapon. Please say that's not the only 4-star. It is. At least it was at 2 pity. I'm not going to spend Stardust at the moment either. However, if you saw, we do have an option to choose a standard banner 5-star. So that was, okay, Jean, Mona, Chi-Chi, Diluc, Tainari, Dea, Kuching, and Mizuki. That should be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, there we go. And in common RNG Impact fashion, we are spinning for it. Tainari. Okay, we are getting Tainari, I guess. Okay, I'm not listening to all of that. However, we did get his ascension materials, so that is nice. I don't have to go to Sumeru immediately. I forgot that they did at least that much for us. It's HP, there's crit damage. You can have that. I don't... he could use EM, but was that EM? Yeah, it was. Okay then, there's our Tainari. I guess I'll level him a little bit. Let's get everyone to level 10, or at least try to. Close enough. I'm going to do some basic stuff. I know he wants EM and Dendro and then crit, so I will attempt to get him on that. I've never actually used a Tainari. I have him, I just haven't used him. I know that you do stuff with his charged attack. Anyways, this is going to be interesting. Oh, but before I go, we need to see what banners we get to pull on. What our main banners are going to be. We have Columbina, Raiden, or the weapon banner. And honestly, this weapon banner is not awful. Let me go and check Columbina's weapon stats. It's just lunar. Okay, well, yeah, this weapon is really only good for Columbina, so I take that back. At least it has a really high crit damage. I personally would like to get Columbina, just because she's so good, but I am a Raiden main, and I love Raiden. But if I get Raiden, I might not be able to make her a support. I've like coded into my mind to make Raiden a DPS at all times. Weapon. Okay. Weapon banner it is then. At least the polearm is good. I think Xiangling is gonna be our only polearm character for a long time though. This is going to be very interesting. Welp. Now, I honestly didn't think that we were going to be able to get a free 5-star character, so my initial plan of seeing who we were going to main is kind of out the window, because once we got our first 5-star, I was going to really focus on them, since they just automatically do more damage, especially early game. Oh, we can do test runs though. Let me go ahead and get test runs out of the way before I forget. And I am going to save for 10 pulls, just because we have very low pity. However, once we get a 5-star, I am going to respin the wheel. So like if we get a 5-star on like 0 pity on the weapon banner, then I am going to respin and hopefully it's not going to say weapon banner again. I really only do the 5 stars. I don't really do the 4 stars unless I get them and I need the rewards. Let's see, there is one domain done. And unless I just say something really funny, I think I'm just going to cut to where the other 2 domains are done and I actually get the characters. However, I am going to get the Statue of the Seven first, just because that's nice. And then after I do that, if I'm still not AR10, which I don't think I'll quite be there, we can go around and we can open some chests and we can do some time trials and get some animoculi. Oh yes, another beginning player tip is always collect your oculus, and when you do, mark them on the map. Always collect your animoculi and mark them on the map, because if you don't mark them, it is so annoying to try and find out which ones you have and which ones you don't, especially if you don't use the interactive map on HoYoLab or any other, and once you're in the later regions when there's so many. Luckily, Mondstadt has only a little over 60, between 60 and 70, and I didn't mean for that to be the joke, animoculi, and so there's not actually that many. However, it really jumps up in Liwa, and that one already is way too much of a hassle. So always keep track of your animoculi, especially if you enjoy exploration and if you want the stamina. Because if you can see, you get the stamina. And a little piece of trivia for those who don't know, you should end up with 1 extra oculus in every single region. Don't ask me why, I guess it's just a collector's thing. Let's see, I'm not going to do this right now just because if I do, I will be sidetracked. And I really need to hurry up and do these little domains. And the domains are done, which means all I have left to do is AR10. Okay, that was pretty funny. I was not expecting him to say, "Why is there a chest here?" As you just saw, I just unlocked ley lines, so I'm going to collect the rest of these waypoints and anything I see on my way and then do those. Bathroom break. Okay, I'm back. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Alright, so I have gotten most of the waypoints and the domains, whatever, may be used as a teleport point. However, I have not gone and gotten the Windwheel Highland statue. I have not gone into Dragonspine for obvious reasons, and I have not gone and gotten this one because you can't go into Stormterror's Lair. I haven't gone to Windrest Peak. I also have not touched Stormbearer Mountains because they are a little bit harder and a little bit higher leveled. But as of right now, I have 500 primogems exactly, 11 animoculi, and 124 sigils, which is pretty good. And if you saw, I am about halfway to AR10, and my primo count is now incorrect because I just got a few more. I don't think it was too many though. 15, pretty good. Let me go and turn in the animalculi. They're also done mowing the lawn, so that's pretty good. I don't know what level this thing is at. 4. I need one more. Oh my god. That's pretty good though. I am now going to go ahead and spend resin just because that's a good thing to spend it on, and there isn't really anything to spend it on when you're lower than AR 15. Really, when you're lower than like AR 20 and 25. Just go for ley lines. They are really good when you start stacking their profits, and it's not something that you tend to do late game, but it's better to do them and not get many rewards than to just let your resin waste, because once your resin is capped, you do not get any more. Now, once I am able to do talent domains and bosses, that is what you really should be spending resin on. But for now, we're back to the ley line days. I usually like to do half and half when I'm early game, but I don't see the Mora ley line, so we are just kind of stacking up on XP books. And there we go. We've got something here. Oh, all of these. I'm going to go ahead and talk to Catherine and get dailies unlocked, except Paimon's gonna take me to Good Hunter because she's fat. Her back is so big. Anyways. That's a lot of rewards. I really just need to cook 5 dishes. 4 more, actually. Okay, we're AR 12 already. I guess I probably should have come over here and gotten the handbook. Now, for players who have been playing since probably before Inazuma, you all should know this wishing ritual, which is not really a ritual, but I guess it is. But it is one of the first that we have all learned about. And of course, it is going and sitting in Jean's desk. Now, we have another wheel spin to do. It broke. That's fine. Either the standard banner or Noelle. Our next temple is going on to the standard banner as well. Alright. The rust. Let's see, let's go back to our wheel. Are we saving 8 pulls to do on Noelle's banner? Yes or no? We are saving 8 pulls to do on Noelle's banner. That is important. Good to know, good to know. Now what's the pulls looking like over here? I guess I can go ahead and use some Stardust. We have 4 and 4, so that's 8 on here. And we are on the weapon banner. Columbina would have been a great character to have, but we're on the weapon banner. So I think I'm going to end this off with a 10 pull on the weapon banner. And unfortunately, the rust isn't even a good weapon, at least not for Tainari and not for Amber. So this is going to be interesting. But at least on the standard banner, we are guaranteed a 4-star. I was kind of hoping that they were gonna say no to saving for Noelle, just because we are 2 pulls away from a 4-star, and how things are going to work on the standard banner, or at least until we have Noelle. While we still have the Noelle banner up, every time I get a 4-star on the standard banner or on Noelle, I'm going to spin and I'm going to ask, do we save up 8 standard fates for Noelle? And if it says yes, then we save up our 8 fates for Noelle, and if it says no, then we keep going on standard until we get a 4-star. 5-star is kind of insane, because you don't spend primogems usually on the standard banner, and it is kind of difficult to get standard pulls, and I think we're not going to be able to do our Noelle pulls until we get to AR-15, unfortunately. However, I can go and get enough primogems to do a couple pulls on the weapon banner. Alright, there we go. And since we went to Jean's desk last time, I think I'm going to do good old sitting in the hands of the statue this time, because that should be our pulls. Yep, it is. Now, neither of these weapons are good for any of the characters that I have right now. I mean, this one isn't really good unless we get Columbina because of its niche substat. But to prove that I am serious about this challenge, I am going to pull anyway, so here we go. I'm not setting a course, by the way. Oh, whoops. Okay, well. We are pulling until a 5-star, by the way. Actually, yeah, I think 5-star would be better. Continue. It's lagging. Ooh, Favonius. That is nice. I'm going to save these just because they are good. And I think that is where I'm going to leave this video off. You can tell me in the comments whether you think we should re-roll the wheel every time we get a 4-star, or if we should just keep it until we get a 5-star. I'm thinking 5-star because it gives us a better long-term goal, but at the end of the day, it also kind of decreases our chance for risk. Which, I mean, then again, risk is still the same just because of how pity is in Genshin, because it's so high. But all in all, this was very fun to film, and I am excited to see where this goes, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!